know, the pig's getting pretty close to me. Come to snuff my shit out, I think. Looks like it's time for me to go, Kuno. Pig's come to take me in.
She means it. The fear is real.
I'm going away for a long, long time, Kuno. Going away for life.
What's going on there? Fuck are you trying to pull, pig?
What's this kid shit? Fucking mind games. I'd rather die than squeal.
Get the fuck out of here, face. You got done. Talk to me.
So it's a girl. Interesting.
It's the jam, my man.
The air from the east is thick with the smell of crude oils, heavy metals and other byproducts of the mud.
It's a traffic jam for the ages. Meanwhile, we're all stuck here in long-haul limbo for days upon days upon days. Feels like forever. Like I was born on this here roundabout and this was all I ever knew. Just me and the metal and the tires, the oil and the fumes and... Yeah, imagine. It's been a whole week already. So tell me, what do you need? Nope, don't smoke. Some of the other drivers do, though.
Yup, nothing wrong with that statement. Your senses have nothing to add. You'll have to ask around elsewhere.
You could also check the kiosk down the street. Frit. With 3 T's. Rebishaw's weird. It's like, whatever's going on over at the docks. Or
going on strike would probably help you dodge a bullet or two.
maybe you should. Cops...
The RCM is a self-managing organization that operates on donations. We promote our own leaders. It would be like striking against your own mother. Okay, but do continue. You were asking about the strike?
Some pretty wild stuff, I hear. Like a giant... I've heard talk there's a company rep in town.
Ah, yes, from the Wild Pines. We'll meet her soon enough, I'm sure.
They want to keep that money flowing in, my man. Anything else? Yeah, us lorry drivers. Camionneurs. Not my thing.
What's better than chasing transient? He tries his best to look nonchalant, but there's a rigidity in him, as if trying to conceal something warm and deep beneath a cool exterior.
He ain't one of us drivers. I know that. All accounted for. Otherwise, I haven't really asked about that. Been wasting time right analyzing the fundamental structural and psychological conditions. Nothing. I'm just messing with you, man. Don't mind my idle verbosity. Oh, high-grade narcotics, illegal firearms, stuff like that. Can't even get a few jokes past you, my man. I've got another haul of found cargo. Mostly sporting goods, tracksuits, and that kind of thing. They usually get shipped to Grad in the Occident, though we've been making headway in the Il Moran market lately. Not unless they've illegalized sport.
Never. They would never illegalize sport. Sport is the most wholesome thing known to man.
This rockin' beauty. Sure is, like a rash you can't get rid of. You interested in heavy-duty cargo machinery? Neat. For carrying large quantities of cargo a long distance.
The man taps his fingers rhythmically against his arm.
Don't be a stranger.
Yes?
Son, you've really let yourself go. It's a disgrace. But Coach Physical Instrument is going to get you back in prime condition, even if it takes 1,000,000 push-ups. Does a master swordsman insult his own blade? No. I'm going to turn you into an athletic benchmark, you big pussy. It's going to take blood, sweat, piss, and tears. But when I'm done with you, boy, you will be a master athlete. When a man sets his mind and body on something and gives his 110%, he is sometimes going to piss himself. It just happens. No shame in that. Behold, world. Here walks a sportsman, hands choked and hair kept back with a bandana. The Homo Athleticus. A striking woman leans against the cabin top.
Good evening, officers. I'm Joyce. Joyce L. Messier. I represent the board of Wild Pines, the owners of the harbor. You gentlemen must be from the RCM. Phaeton, my maiden name. Nothing, honestly. I've said it to every drunk in town, and you're the first one who's responded. I'm glad to see you here.
Like steel, there is
I was dispatched to handle a strike, not a...
That is good to hear, madame. My colleague...
It happens quicker than a shooting star. But did the lieutenant just wink at you?
How interesting. I wish you a swift recovery. In the meanwhile, you have my full cooperation, and the full cooperation of the Wild Pines group. That's the man who was killed. I'm afraid this is a discussion for once we've cleared the lynching question. Better not tie the forestay to the batstay on this. I hope there is something else I can help you with. Quite a few things, I'm afraid. The information I'm to share with you includes sensitive trade secrets. For the sake of my employer, I have...
Of course, ma'am. We should have introduced ourselves. And this is my colleague from Precinct 41, Detective Dubois.
He looks at you expectantly. Then it dawns on him.
Oh. And what happened to it, Detective? I see. So, are you saying you lost your badge during the course of this episode? I can't hear you, darling. Speak up, please. Oh, dear. Some kind... I do believe you, naive as that may...
As I said, ma'am, his technique may be very unconventional.
Of course, I sympathize. But I'm afraid I simply can't share anything more until I've seen that badge.
Hang on. She's a professional negotiator. She should be open to some sort of mutually beneficial arrangement. I mean, favors for favors. A dirty alliance of some sort. Easy. Just offer her a favor. Like I said, nice and dirty.
I will be frank with you. If I'm going to break...
You're in, but expect her to drive a hard bargain.
Reports from inside Terminal B suggest...
They're profiting from this trade.
The company has tried looking into this matter before. You can recover your badge.
Detective, a word in private before we continue.
Aces low. For the rest of the world, the Aces Low is just some cool Revachol thing, politically neutral. In Revachol, it still holds revolutionary connotations. Also, have you looked at Lieutenant Kitsuragi's clothes? He wears a bomber jacket, just like the ones worn by aerostatic brigades. And those cargo pants look like they could fit tools for hot fixing your burning aerostatic. You should ask him about this.
Honestly, I was expecting you to use your unorthodox technique to keep her off balance, and not volunteer us to be her henchmen. This woman is running circles around us. She might have known about your misplaced badge all along, or she's simply an adept improviser. Either way, we've played straight into her hands. No, if there is reasonable suspicion, what I propose is, we ask her, then we investigate, briefly. Oh, that would be fun. You could request a new one from your station, but that would literally...
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? It's quite straightforward.
Ingredients for what, ma'am?
Meth and dextroamphetamine, GBL and various synthetic psychedelics. Yes.
Wildpine seems to be...
We're in logistics. It's our... Yes, but you won't get anything out of Evrat and the Dock Workers Union. Still, every chain has its weak link. Unlikely, officer. I'm talking about the lorries. What? Perhaps you've noticed that a number of lorries...
Her irises are light green, like the...
I'll be explicit. If you find this driver, I will share company secrets. We did. On more than one occasion. Apparently they...
We know the company has launched its own probe into the Union's alleged involvement.
Well, here's your chance, officers. The two might...
Or not. Though, if you have evidence to the contrary, I'm eager to hear it.
As eager as I am to share it, Lieutenant, once the job is done. How do you think they're financing this strike?
There was a shakedown of local business.
With all due respect to these desert cacti, the contents of a few cash registers cannot provide... Precisely. Smuggled out of that very gate at night, most likely. then loaded onto lorries and driven to Jamrock. You simply need to find one driver who will open up to you. No. We asked East Motor Track to raise the drawbridge. The road company is a part. This is a limited time. Thousands of
A cold breath rushes in from the bay, making its way down the alleyways and potholed streets. From
a lot of it. It comes in from large Samaran factories in South Safre, Sigai, and Sinyao.
Well, at least this solves one mystery.
What is that, Lieutenant?
Why I had to call East Motor Track and beg them to open the drawbridge for me.
I am sorry for the inconvenience, Lieutenant Kisaragi, but... Yes? Excellent. It may come to nothing, or in the meantime, let me know if there's any other way I may be of assistance. Everything. Right up to, but not including, trade secrets. I believe the official title is Senior
And how are the talks?
They're not. That's the
Wait, she just admitted that.
Now they won't even let me into the harbor. There's a 2-meter 20 racist behemoth blocking the gates. Yes, Jean-Luc Measurehead. Yes, I believe there is a connection. Let's say I was not making the kind of progress.
And when did you first?
I arrived 3 weeks ago. Yes, in the middle of February. The bay was still partially frozen then. I prefer...
But the strike began in December.
I wasn't the original negotiator here. I took over after Mr. Gaumont hit a wall with Mr. Clare, the union boss. Mr. Clare refused to speak with Gaumont despite concessions he'd granted the union in prior negotiations.
This isn't the first time the union has gone on strike.
Heavens no. There have been 2 prior strikes. Both times the union won significant concessions, including overtime pay and a medical plan. This time that Mr. Clare told him to... Fuck off, midget. Gaumont is short of stature, you see. Keep in mind, this is a negotiator Mr. Clare has worked with before. There are leaflets everywhere, and every worker, a member of the board. Then you might also like their other slogan. Demand democracy. Personally, I don't think it has the same pizzazzo as every worker. It's quite simple, you see. Just so you understand, this is but one of 22 terminals owned by Wild Pines. Essentially, not only are they... That may well be. It's not up to me to decide who is king, but as negotiations go, it's not a swell. I'm not sure. Naturally, I assume that was just... And now, people are getting lynched,
Excuse me, from whom did you hear about this lynching?
I first heard it from the boyar at the gates. The one whose very name advertises his aversion to work.
This checks out.
Everard Clare is a man of the utmost integrity. Of course not. Everard...
If you were to prick him with something sharp, you could see it oozing out. A knife, maybe? No, a rapier.
Oh, heavens, no. We get along just fine. Yet, now that you mention it, I can't stop imagining that black treacle just dribbling down his double chin. He is the most corrupt individual I... Yes, Edgar looks exactly like his brother, except for that... It's how they circumvent the term limits, you see, with a funny little switcheroo. While in... The Débardeurs Union was once organized labor at its best, as they say. Then...
A mob. The Débardeurs are a crime syndicate. Sad as it may be, we are for...
Refreshingly honest, officer. And your opinion, detective, if I may ask? I'm a curious and talkative person, you see. Would you say the Débardeurs Union is... Why do you think so? Well, I suppose that's one way to look at it. They're an interesting composition, albeit vile. But enough about Evrart. What else can I do for you? I'm glad you asked. There was a woman, the previous forewoman.
Disappear?
Yes. On the last day of the local...
This forewoman, her name?
Sadly, the company records do not even give a name. She's just forewoman. Indeed. The point of the presentation is, these...
Thank you for your concern, man. We'll be just fine.
Of course. How else can I help? Of course, Detective. Take care.
We should think about calling it a day, maybe. The nights are still miserably cold this time of year. You should take care of that, then. Let's talk to him anyway. An officer of the RCM shouldn't be sleeping in the street. We'll figure something out.
Can I help you? Yes, have you got it? A lot. For the room and broken window, 100 real. Does that arrangement include you paying me what we already agreed you owe me? Game? Everything is just a game to you, isn't it? Good luck trying to use it.
Draconian measures.
All the locks have an electronic component. They have to be unlocked down here with a master key before your guest key will open the lock. Oh, wonderful. Try to do that. I'll have to call you an ambulance. Not until you bring me the money.
Okay. I might have something in my motor carriage we can use when you're done here.
I really didn't want to resort to this. The man is thinking.
Oh, Lieutenant, we're done here. Absolutely out of the question.
Absolutely in the question. Coach physical instrument. Wait, how did you know all those hammer throw techniques? How do you know how to hold a discus? Or the world youth record in discus? Something doesn't add up here. This mushy thing between your ears didn't know the name of the city you're in, but it comes loaded with trivia about the correct chin position of a shot put ball. Could it be that? Shut up, namby-pamby. This train of thought ends abruptly. It's leg day. Straighten your rhombus muscle. It's shirts versus skins. Take your shirt off, Namby. Your skins. Inside, you see a set of steering levers.
I have something here we could sell.
Transport enclosure. Regular people just call it the cage. The cage at the back of the motor carriage looks rather uncomfortable. 4 shiny hubcaps.
I confiscated these for a little while back. We can take them to the pawn shop down by the Martinez Canal. There are spinner hubcaps, frivolous things you put on your wheels. When the wheels come to a stop, the caps keep on spinning. There's no real use for them, it's just for vanity. A couple of weeks ago, I stopped a young man for going slower than the speed of traffic. Turns out he was some coalition official's son and high. I took them and arrested him for driving under the influence. I don't know, is it? I was going to take them into evidence, but they weren't necessary for conviction. He never asked for them back. No, that would be silly. I don't know why I kept them. It doesn't matter. I couldn't put them on this MC anyway. A cop with spinners. That would be outrageous.
He flashes a smile, barely visible in the dark.
As I said, they are useless anyway. I should have remembered I have these earlier.
But thank you.
Yes, the bird's nest Roy, near the canal. We've been there. If I'm not mistaken, it should be open late.
The lieutenant nods as you take the spinners. As you tap on the gauge,
No, that's enough fun with the foldable headlights. I know they are mesmerizing. They are also fragile. I'm not going to turn it on for you again.
Hello. Let me know if I can help you with anything.
Yes, we'd like to sell these hubcaps.
Roy takes the hubcaps from the lieutenant and...
Yes, these are very, very good. Did you defraud some foreign prince for them? Jump-a-mesk banger? No matter. I'll give you 200 real.
No one was defrauded or jumped, I assure you.
Of course. I meant no offense. 200 real for you, officer. Delightful doing business with you. Do come again.
Thank you. Here's the 100 real you need for your bill. Do not waste it.
Anything else you're thinking of selling? Oh, no. I don't like those kinds of objects. No sale. Aphotic paths, counter-radiance networks, anti-magnetism. It's darkness. That's all I... Another time, perhaps. Sure. Let me have a look. Anything else you're thinking of selling? Another time, perhaps. Someone else came here earlier to...
What? Sold? The lieutenant shifts from one foot to another, alert.
You were adamant about getting rid of it, and I don't like keeping guns around the shop for long. Off the charts. She didn't seem, truth be...
Right, so let me get this right. You sold your sidearm, issued by the citizens' militia, and now a civilian is running around the streets of Martinez with it? You're right that she could cast aspersions on the Force. We have to find her.
My apologies, officer.
A needle in a haystack. There is nothing you can do about it right now. You'll just have to hope Everett...
Maybe. Shady-looking guys came in here yesterday. They went their way.
Wait, then it might be true. Everett's claims.
Maybe Claire really is tracking down your gun.
Of course.
Can I help you? Yes, have you got it? Well? Great, perfect. I hope you enjoy your freezing cold room with the window you broke yourself. The electronic lock to your room has been disabled till 9. Starting tomorrow, please pay for each night in advance. 20 real per night. If you don't have the money, it's over for you. Got it? You've got nowhere else to stay.
I'll take a room here too.
Always happy to have officers from the RCM as guests. Anything else I can do for you?
This is the door to the room you redecorated.
Just a moment. We should talk about our progress on the investigation.
The air outside is brisk. The lieutenant is silent for a moment. He listens to the
Now then, we should talk about the investigation. But I also feel you're a bit hazy on the RCM. Our role here, our rights, our jurisdiction, basically. I have a cigarette every night when I go over my notes. It's something of a ritual.
Oh man, he looks so devastatingly cool with that cigarette.
You're cold, Detective. Again, I only have exactly one every night.
Below, the city trembles with its remaining lights. People are rushing home, running away from home, smoking, sleeping, singing in the shower.
You mean this? This isn't cool. It's unnecessary.
Keeping the habit within the parameters he's given himself takes a lot of focus. It would be easier to simply quit.
Yes, it's been a long and eventful day. Well, we inspected the victim's body, so that's good. Our inspection could have been more thorough, as it always can, but we have some leads we can follow up on. Then you shot the body down, which was quite a shot. I admit I wasn't sure whether I should give you the gun, but I'm glad I did. We still have to perform the autopsy, though. But we did do a thorough search of the crime scene. That's great. Now, as for interviews, my list of people to talk to here in Martinez, I mean. Very important indeed. Well, we conducted. He wasn't particularly forthcoming with useful information, however. We tried to interview the Wild Palms rep, but she asked us to do something for her first. Fine, so be it. I have a feeling Joyce knows how dangerous the situation really is. We have to get her to talk to us. Above all, though, today was exhausting. What's with all the running?
I have a really good theory about why you're running so fast, son. Just you wait until we get up tomorrow.
It's impressive, to say the least, for a man your age. But I guess those sneakers are a perfect fit for running around. Goodbye, Dad.
Thank you for the compliment. We could manage it even in wooden clogs. There are uncanny running reservoirs in this body. God knows why.
They're quite limited, actually. The power officers of the Revachol Citizens Militia exercise most. The RCM's primary role is to ensure safety. We are not really supposed to play it. Yes, although injured officers of the RCM have been. We can arrest people, of course, but rather than bringing someone in directly, it's you can't. Those who don't show up become fugitive. As you may have gathered from the fact that we are expected to carry a record of our kills, like the one in the water marks, we are permitted to use whatever force is necessary. You have to supply compelling evidence. Not a good position to be in, by the way. Internal affairs, and we don't convict. The coalition, the RCM, was formed by the coalition. Or perhaps it is better to say we were allowed to form. It's a point of contention whether the citizens of Revachol or the coalition government formed the RCM. Be sentimental if you like. Either way, the Moralinton leases us the right to keep the peace in this city, and they will take it away.
The dying light. This soldier is the highlight of the day for me, he thinks. This little stick right here.
They really don't like us here. And the mouth on that kid, you know. It's different in Jamrock and the GRIH. It's our fault for leaving this place to the dogs, to the Union, to the company, not daring to come here more often. It's like I told you. We run this city. West of the river is RCM land. It's incredibly hard. Human beings are... But we are in control, and it's worth it. The organization works. Our systems work. If they didn't, the city would disintegrate. Probably not. Anyway, positive change happens slowly. We never really get to see the impact of our actions.
He is very tired, but the dark circles under his eyes make him look younger, not older.
Yeah, it's getting very cold now. Let's go.
Hello again, sweetie. Yes, officer. You look rather dazed. Like a stunned fox. But surely things can't be that bad.
She nods, but still looks worried.
You know where we are, right? That's right. In a hostel called the Whirling in Rags, to be precise. Yes, and how would I even begin to tell you? I haven't seen very many other cities personally, but speaking of history, you know what year it is, yes? Perhaps, dear. Perhaps. But for now, it's just the spring of 51.
Outside, the melting snow seeps into the cracks in the walls and the cobblestone streets, all the way down into the sewers. Above ground, the first maybells blossom. You can feel it, a great cold. Then the shiver passes.
I can tell that this is taxing for you, so I'll just ask one more question. What regime are we living under? What mode of government? Oh, sweetie. It's really not. There used to be people... Revachol is a zone of control led by... Oh, dear. But we should stop...
She's scared now. She's realized you really are brain damaged.
You didn't do too well, dear. It does look like you're having trouble... defeat, I'm afraid. The people of this archipelago... Of course, sweetie. I really don't... Someone more educated in these...
That's a good point. This doesn't look like Rich Central.
It's raining again. It was clear just an hour ago. I'm a nighthawk. What can I say?
Does Kuno care? Kuno gets it from his dad. Kuno and his dad are major suppliers. That's where Kuno gets his lightning on. Problem is, Kuno and his dad had a little falling out. Now junkies clawing at Kuno's door. Streets going mad. Kuno's got to throw his dirty popo man at it. Dirty popo man is you. In there is Kuno's violent dad on steroids. Kuno's dad does steroids and speed. If you can take him, you can have half of the speed. Kuno's dad is a fucking monster. He's the most violent man in Revachol. He doesn't give a shit about a single thing. He drinks too.
You know how you'd be best off here? With a gun. I'd be the star of the show if you only had a working gun.
Like half? A baggie, but like in this vial. Fuck you talking about half a G? This shit...
You can barely see it, because there's barely any.
Okay, Kuno's listening. Sure, whatever. If you survive, make sure to bring that shit back to Kuno. Kuno's almost out. You wouldn't like the Kuno when he's out. Just get in the apartment building. Kuno knows you already fucked your way in. Kuno knows everything. Go to room 12, first floor, and kick down the door. Police violence style. Kuno style. And then it's action time. You're locked in the room with violent fuckheads. That's it. Next time Kuno sees you, you better have his shit. Kuno doesn't fucking care.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? You have. And how did you like Mr. Clare?
Finally, time to choose sides.
Of course. He must have his practical uses. However, he could have kept it with corruption. Fantastic, worm-like corruption that reaches into the bowels of the earth. Of course. I don't expect you to share anything he told you with me. I'm not a worm myself. But if you felt like passing some information, how could I stop you? Are we not human? Are we not curious to hear another person's take? It's only natural. We would only be gossiping.
Tell her she'll like you for it.
Oh. That's so helpful of him. So very, very helpful. And how is that going? Do you have any leads on that gun? Yes. As you said. Your gun, yes. Do you want to talk about something else now?
Well, that's not good. Looks fine over here. You sure it's not some sort of glandular problem?
What is happening?
No, it's not that. It's... I have no idea. This is bad.
Sweetheart, please stop repeating that now. Please. Yes, Mr. Everard. This gossiping idea was terrible on my part. I take it back.
The woman scans her surroundings, as though a neurologist might magically appear. Fear seeps into you as you say it. Your skin crawls.
Mr. Everard is helping him find his gun.
Do you want me to take you to a hospital? Sir? Officer?
Yeah, we need to pull the plug. There's nothing else to do. Physically, he should be fine. Or at least no worse than usual. Okay, I'm gonna do it. Hold on.
Detective! Is everything all right in there? I'm not sure exactly, but you seem to be caught in some sort of loop. Never mind the details. We've wasted enough time as it is. What matters is that you seem to have got out of it. Now, please ask me something else before it happens again. Something that, preferably, doesn't include the words Mr. or Everard. Oh. So very, very helpful. And how is that going? Do you have any leads on that gun? Well, maybe he's not as helpful as you thought then. Is there anything else? Of course, Detective. Until then, is there anything I can help you with? This reality. No, but please, a little context. We're not in such a hurry. Ah, yes, but then I'm no doctor.
All right, you're in. Begin with the first one. You'll appear worldly.
We're in Martinez, baby. A casual term of endearment popular among the 50-plus crowd. Aren't we? Martinez is a district. You would be excused for not knowing about it. Unimportant, they say. Forgotten, even. Shelled to smithereens during the Revolution. It has its charms, just not this time of year. I'm not a good ambassador. This place used to be a province. A workers' resort before the city swallowed it, and it's not really a... Yes. We're on an island, Caillou.
It is clear this pebble is of enormous value to her.
Revachol? The great kind. History detective. They built this city, the nations of the Occident, in the DeLorean century. They say it's where the terror... By that I mean conflict. We are standing on a fertile, self-sufficient island, able to sustain up to 200 million people. In the middle... Oh, we're quite a way off. About...
A sparkle of lights on the horizon.
22 kilometers from the center of the world. That soldering iron is the bank of the world building. The bottom floors are Insiacom.
Silence. The water, the light. It's as though you're seeing it for the first time. There is no recognition, only the immensity of the sea and the cold radiating from it.
We are where we are. I have no truer answer to give, unfortunately.
This is one thought you need to complete. Where are you?
Was there something else you wanted to know? I remember something about a lowdown. It's a neurological disorder caused by a lack of vitamin B in the brain. Well, it's either bariatric surgery or long-term alcohol use.
She nods slowly.
What I am not is a basic term of reality. These are unimportant time for the big time.
The smile of a predator. No doubt what she's got in mind.
All men are predators, dear. Nothing much to be done about that. The revolution. It's quite easy. Those would be... Oh, and the anarchists. Did they ever? Before they got shot themselves, they shot 2 million people. Yes, lots of people. The real king abdicated and lived out a long and productive life as a venture capitalist in Grad. I prefer the term risk-averse. King Guillaume was nobody's fool. He could smell a PR disaster. Him and tens of thousands of his wonderfully fascist kingsmen. It was a while. The liberals got the mineral rights. And by mineral, liberals are usually... Some were rich enough to stay with a constitution, with monarchy. Big mistake. Others bet on the revolution. They didn't win so much as survive. We to foreign intervention. The coalition. The liberals took everything that wasn't nailed to the ground. The coalition of... The moralists believe in keeping everything exactly, at least not in the same manner and volume as the...
The rulers of Revachol, and also the world. These guys are strong.
This is their zone of control. They embolden the RCM with crumbs of the same law they took. Technically speaking, you are a moralist. Of course. Not easy to be moderate about head shooting in your line of work.
Rooty tooty, pointy shooty.
That's the way of history. The turn of the century revolution. The revolution began in '02 on the It wasn't a who, but a what. It made people overthrow their governments. Indeed, Zerat is a highly infectious microorganism that destroyed brain tissue. From Revachol and Grad? Not far. Why? You and I, officer. A city-state.
The clatter of typewriter keys.
The zone of control is the third incarnation of Revachol, after the failure of the suzerain and the modernity. They developed the marvel. 43 years. Hard to fathom, I know. The 20s saw a decade of urban war west of the River Le The 30s? No. It was a market mirage fueled by Welcome to reality, baby. Good question.
Your jaw clenches. Give the lady a taste of your wisdom.
And I asked you.
Here's some wisdom, lady. Say the death thing. The cold runs down your spine as you say the words, like a small electric charge that seeks grounding.
I see. A tenth of humanity. The key of history is in the lock. Keep turning at any cost.
The wind stops, and for a moment, there's silence. The cold dissipates into your pariah. A dog barks. A gunshot echoes off the...
Capital is past.
Past? That's what de Briever, the leader of the Communards, said, before she got a bullet in her head. Don't get me wrong. Capital is finished. But understand this. Its end won't free anyone. It will only lead to more suffering. They are what they are. Who knows? And after... Anyway, enough sentimentality. Is there anything else you want to know?
She won't maneuver her way out of this one.
I am an ultra.
It's sharp.
Haven't you heard? I am a nether creature of the Forbidden Swamp, one of those who pushed the king. We surrendered the nation to the financier pirates. No sane person identifies as an ultra-liberal anymore. Not in broad daylight. You're a man of the left. A true communard. Tell me, now that I've uncoiled myself, are you repulsed?
In her green eyes, you see a mixture of truth and self-satire. Decades of guilt and pride.
A devil, who being of great charm and guile, sneaketh into the homes of the godly.
Beneath her waterproof raincoat and silk shirt is a body imbibed in numb 12 perfume. You are suddenly and intimately aware of it.
I hope we're able to continue as friends, despite my deeply felt need to infiltrate and betray the revolution, and then ensnare you to financial service. Honestly, I may have even preferred it, had the Communards won. Who knows? They might really have built something better. But they didn't, because they lost. When the dust settled, the Liberals were the only ones left to clean up the mess. By virtue of their survival, they were handed enormous power to shape the future. With due respect to our overlords, the eternal caretaker.
While a gentle wind sweeps the streets in the rebuilt east, light drizzle washing.
I would not have relinquished sovereignty to the Coalition. Not here in Martinez, and not in the Stella Maris or Delta Beachheads either. If not for my own sake, then for my daughters. We had an obligation to defend our sovereignty. We should have burned the whole Isola down rather than let them have it. Perhaps my intellectual vanity will be my undoing. Yes, I suppose I am. But I wouldn't be a patriot anywhere but here. Yes. Whatever else I am, I'm also a mother and a wife. Now, shall we return to reality? A bird? A Svenicid? Some sort of krill hunter? No, wait. You're an ancient ruin. A symbol of hubris and decay. Half submerged. Of course you're not, my dear. I'm just terrible at guessing games. Ah. This is the pier of Rue des Singes or two. A pre-revolutionary tenement. Oh, this one used to be mostly the urban middle class, I believe. Splat, splat.
You could be wrong, but from here it...
Wonderful. We're in Martinez, baby. A casual term. Martinez. You would be excused for not knowing about it. I would be happy to. What is a preposterous... The girl in the old lady rags? Looks like a sullen... Yes. She prefers a fantasy world. An infraculture with its... Young people who dye their hair funny colors and wear old people's clothes are stupid. And their little rebellion... All right. What next?
It remains a mystery what you mean by this, some...
Glad to have been of assistance. The little that I know.
A shabby door hangs oddly on its hinges, secured to the doorframe with a safety chain. No response. The apartment numbers have fallen off. Nothing happens. It must be an ambush. Let's get your adrenaline pumping, just in case. You'll need to equip the chain cutters to enter. Snip